I've always been a practical person. I never believed in ghosts, curses, or any of the superstitious nonsense people talked about. That was until I started working at Kebab Turki Baba Rafi. The restaurant stood at the heart of the city, a prestigious place known for its legendary kebabs and unmatched ambiance. I joined the staff as a waiter, eager to make some extra money during college. Little did I know that this job would change my life forever. The restaurant had been in business for generations. Its founder, Baba Rafi, had supposedly discovered a secret recipe for the perfect kebab, one that he guarded with his life. The place was ornately decorated with dark, rich woods and crimson velvet curtains that draped from floor to ceiling. The dimly lit dining room was filled with the soft murmurs of satisfied customers. On my first night, I was assigned to serve a couple seated in a corner booth. The man was distinguished, his gray hair adding to his air of authority, while the woman's eyes held a certain sadness. They ordered the legendary Baba Rafi special, a delicacy that was only whispered about in hushed tones. I took their order and proceeded to the kitchen, where I watched the chef prepare the special kebab. The chef, a stout man with a bald head, handed me the dish. It smelled heavenly, but there was something about it that sent shivers down my spine. The meat glistened with an otherworldly sheen, and the aroma was hypnotic. When I brought the dish to the couple, they thanked me with polite smiles. The man sliced the kebab with precision, and they savored each bite as if it were their last. They left, leaving a generous tip and a cryptic note. "Meet us tomorrow night," it read, "at midnight, by the river." I pondered the note, unable to shake the feeling that something was amiss. Yet, curiosity gnawed at me, and I decided to meet them. The next night, I arrived at the riverside, the moon casting eerie shadows on the water. The couple emerged from the darkness. The man introduced himself as Mr. Archer, and his companion as Mrs. Archer. They appeared to be in their 60s, yet their eyes held a vitality that defied their age. Mr. Archer spoke in a hushed tone, his words laden with gravity. He told me about the legend of Kebab Turki Baba Rafi. Many years ago, Baba Rafi had stumbled upon a mysterious recipe that had catapulted his restaurant to fame. But with it came a terrible price. People who consume the Baba Rafi special, Mr. Archer explained, are bound by a secret, a curse of sorts. It grants them a taste of perfection, but in return it takes something from them. Something precious. My skepticism battled with the eerie feeling that had plagued me since the first night. I decided to play along, nodding as if I believed every word. Mrs. Archer continued, "We've been searching for a way to break this curse for years, and we believe you can help us." They handed me a leather-bound book, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and handwritten notes. It was Baba Rafi's journal, and they believed it held the key to unraveling the curse. I was to read it and decipher its secrets. Over the next few weeks, I delved into Baba Rafi's journal, poring over his thoughts and experiments. The more I read, the more I became convinced that there was something unnatural about the kebab recipe. It was as if Baba Rafi had made a pact with a malevolent force, and the restaurant's success was the result of this unholy alliance. I met with Mr. and Mrs. Archer regularly, sharing my findings. We were obsessed, driven by the need to uncover the truth and break the curse. But as the days turned into weeks, I noticed changes in myself. I became more withdrawn, haunted by vivid nightmares that left me sleep-deprived. One night, as I sat in my dimly lit apartment, I felt a presence in the room. It was as if something was watching me, a malevolent force that sent chills down my spine. My heart raced, and I frantically searched the apartment, but there was nothing there. As the days passed, the feeling of impending doom intensified. I became paranoid, convinced that I was being followed. I saw shadows in the corners of my vision, heard whispers that seemed to come from nowhere. I couldn't escape the feeling that I was losing my sanity. One evening, as I met with Mr. and Mrs. Archer at a deserted park, they shared a breakthrough. They had uncovered an incantation hidden within the journal, a ritual that could potentially break the curse. It involved a ceremony at the restaurant, under the full moon, using a set of ancient artifacts. We decided to proceed with the ritual, our desperation driving us forward. The night arrived and we gathered at Kebab Turki Baba Rafi. The restaurant's ambiance had transformed into something sinister, the crimson curtains now resembling bloodstains, and the dim lights casting eerie shadows. The ceremony began, and we followed the instructions meticulously. The artifacts glowed with an unnatural light, and a sense of foreboding hung in the air. As the incantation reached its climax, I felt a searing pain in my chest, as if something was tearing at my soul. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the restaurant, extinguishing the candles. The room plunged into darkness, and a bone-chilling voice echoed through the air. "You cannot break the curse," it hissed. "I am bound to this place, and you are bound to me." Panic surged through me as I realized the truth. The curse was not just in the kebab. It was in the very foundations of the restaurant. Baba Rafi had made a pact with a malevolent entity, one that demanded souls in exchange for success. I stumbled through the darkness, searching for Mr. and Mrs. Archer, but they were gone. I was alone in the haunted restaurant, the malevolent force closing in around me. It whispered in my ear, promising power and success in exchange for my soul. I refused, but the entity was relentless. It tormented me, showing me visions of the cursed souls who had consumed the Baba Rafi special over the years. Their faces contorted in agony as they were consumed by the darkness. I fought back, reciting the incantation in reverse, hoping to banish the entity. But it laughed, a chilling, mirthless sound that echoed through the restaurant. "You are mine now," it said, and the darkness closed in. The next thing I knew, I was standing in the restaurant's kitchen, the cursed kebab in front of me. The malevolent force had taken control of my body, using me as a vessel to serve its cursed dish to unsuspecting customers. I watched helplessly as people savored the kebab, their faces contorting in agony as the curse took hold. I wanted to scream, to warn them, but I was powerless. Weeks turned into months, and I continued to serve the cursed kebab. I had become a prisoner in my own body, a puppet of the malevolent entity. The restaurant thrived, its reputation growing as more and more people flocked to taste the legendary Baba Rafi special. But beneath the surface of success, a darkness lurked, a curse that consumed the souls of all who tasted perfection. And I, thy unwitting servant of that curse, could only watch in despair as it claimed its victims one by one. So, if you ever find yourself at Kebab Turki Baba Rafi, beware the Baba Rafi special. It may promise perfection, but the price you pay could be your very soul, trapped for eternity in the darkness that haunts this prestigious restaurant.